presents the high school football game of the week. Tonight from Memorial Stadium on the campus of A.L. Brown High School, it's the Wonders of Kannapolis hosting the Bulldogs of Shelby Burns in a second-round matchup. Hi, everyone. I'm Randy Whitley along with Woody Kane, and they get tougher and tougher. We've advanced to round number 2. The winner goes to the Elite 8, Woody, and Burns High School, maybe out of a smaller conference, the Southwestern 3A, but certainly not as far as competition is concerned.
No, they've played a very, very tough non-conference schedule. They've got 3 losses this year. Now, listen to these teams that have beaten them. Kings Mountain, Shelby, and Crest. Now, those are powerhouses around the state. All those teams still active in the playoffs. They played definitely a very tough non-conference schedule. A lot of fans remember last time Kannapolis saw Burns, it was a triple overtime thriller about 7 years ago. We get a game that good tonight, everybody will be happy.
Like Coach Ray said, if he'd have went for one, they'd have still been playing that game right now.
They might very well have been. But this Burns team, Randy, what they like to do is get out front early and then play a conservative game where they just pound away at you with that big line in their running game. And that's something Kannapolis will have to avoid tonight, falling behind early.
Well, the Wonders faced a big team in Asheville. This team is big. They've got some speed, though. But can Burns match up with the likes of the Maddoxes and the Browns and the Sheets and all that high-powered offense?
Well, I think that's going to be the big test. It's going to be the Burns size against the Kannapolis speed. If Kannapolis is able to stretch the field out, make Burns have to run back and forth all night, it could be a very long night for them. On the other hand, if Burns is able to control the ball and just pound it away all night, it could be a long game for Kannapolis.
And, of course, the winner has the dubious task of taking on either Concord or Hickory next week. Well, boy, they don't get any easier, do they?
No, it really doesn't. Once you get here, though, to this level, everybody's good.
Okay, we're looking for a great ball game. A good crowd will be on hand here at Memorial Stadium, and we'll have more pregame for you when our coverage continues in just a moment. You have joined us here on what is really a good football night here in late October, the second round of the state playoffs. Steve Gant had a chance to talk to head coach Ron Green earlier and see what's going on in the minds of the Burns Bulldogs.
Thanks, guys. We caught up with Ron Green, the Burns Bulldogs head coach. I tell you what, first of all, welcome to Kannapolis.
Thank you, sir. We've been here before.
You know, you guys, you had to beat some powerhouses to get here. I know you got 8-3 records. You 3 losses: Crest, Kings Mountain, and a powerful Shelby team up there. So nothing to be ashamed of. A good year for you.
No, sir. There's 4 good football teams in Cleveland County, and sometimes we beat them, sometimes they beat us. And it's we're just glad to be in the playoffs, and we hope to keep moving forward.
Well, Coach, it's pretty obvious you got a big squad. Your guys look like a college team down here. I think your front line average is about 250. Where do you get these big guys?
Mamas and daddies feed them well. We've got some just good young men. The good Lord gave them size. One thing He gave a lot of them was height, and nothing you can do about that. We've worked them hard in the weight room, and their mothers and fathers have fed them well. So we hope that they'll just come out and play a good game for us tonight.
Coach, I know it's a solid team effort. What is your ace in the hole? Is it offense? Is it defense? What can we look for tonight?
We've just got a good team that seems to support each other well. I can't say it's offense. I can't say it's defense. We've given good team efforts.
What about the offensive game? A lot of passing, a lot of running, mix it up pretty good?
We've mainly run the ball. We have thrown it 10, 12, 14 times in some ball games. But if we don't have to, we won't. We'll do what it takes to try to be successful.
Well, you know, it's going to be a good ball game. What can we look for? I mean, do you pull anything out of your head? Do you do any trick plays, anything different?
No, sir. You just line up and play football. This is not a time for doing things different. This is time for doing what you do well and doing it better.
Got to go with what got you here.
Yes, sir.
Well, Coach, I tell you what, I want to thank you for talking to us. Again, welcome to Kannapolis, and good luck tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, guys, back to you.
Shelby Burns, of course, 8-3 overall, and the number 4 seed here in the West coming into the '97 playoffs. Steve Gant also had a chance to talk to one of the other assistants for A.L. Brown, Bill Whiteman. These were Bill's comments earlier.
Thanks again, guys. We'll talk to Bill Whiteman of the Kannapolis Wonders. I'll tell you what, Bill, I look at this Burns team. It's a bunch of big kids out there.
Yeah, they're tremendous in size and all, and got a lot of beef on sort of a wet field, and sort of worries you a little bit, but when it comes down to it, your heart's the one thing that's going to determine this ball game tonight out of either team.
Well, you know, we know that Bruce is a motivator. He can get the kids up. You know, they might get down early. Who knows? But no matter what happens, I know Bruce can fire them up and get them back up. They never quit.
Well, when you get to the playoff, if you have to do a whole lot of motivating and spend your time doing that, then I worry about our football team. I think our kids are motivated enough they're going to get up and play this football game. And we keep their goals in front of them, keep them focused about what they said they wanted to do before the season started. So I think we'll be all right in that respect.
Well, you're talking about Burns' record is 8-3, and they've beat some good teams, but some good teams have beat them. The 3 losses, you can't, records out the window. Everybody's 0-0 coming to a nice ball game.
Well, I think it's who's playing the best at the time. The records really don't mean anything. Some of the best years we ever had when we started off slow and kept gaining momentum as the playoffs rolled around. And Burns right now has a lot of momentum going forward. So do we. So it'll be a great ball game.
Coach Whiteman, I know you work with your team all year, and you get to this point all year, but you face a new opponent every week, Burns. You haven't had a whole lot of time. You prepared for them all year, but you haven't had a whole lot of time to look at them and what they got. What do you know about the team? What do they do well?
Well, what they do well is they have an outstanding running game. They take their size and they play a lot of smash mouth football. They'll line up and try to ram it right down your throat. They have the speed to get outside, so we're going to have to play the whole field. And they got a good passing game, so basically the things that they haven't had to do is because they've been ahead of people, but they have a complete offense and they have a complete defense. They're an outstanding football team.
Any tricks up your sleeve?
No tricks. It's just going to come down to sound football. Hopefully our kids will meet the challenge.
Real good luck. We thank you for talking to us, and we hope to get to talk to you again next week.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Okay, guys, back to you.
Okay, thanks, Steve. As the teams continue their pregame festivities and warming up exercises, we'll be back in just a minute. We'll take those starting lineups and introduce the captains to you. Welcome back to Memorial Stadium. Red Whitley along with Woody Kane, and the captains are meeting at the center of the field for the coin toss, and let's go there right now.
You guys shake hands and introduce yourself to each other. Okay, guys, these are my fellow officials tonight. Mr. Page will be the head linesman, Mr. Higgins the umpire, Mr. Walker's the back judge, Mr. Hussey's the line judge. Okay? Y'all listen, you've heard this before. The North Carolina High School Athletic Association requires officials to enforce all rules regarding unsportsmanlike conduct by players and coaches. Specifically, trash talking, taunting, baiting, demeaning celebrations, and vulgar or profane language may be penalized without warning. Fighting or other malicious conduct will result in an ejection. If any coach protests a penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct, he or she is subject to being ejected from the contest. It is strongly suggested that you remind your teammates and coaches of this high school policy, okay? We're not going to have any of that tonight. You're the visitors, you're going to call it. Who's going to call it? Who? Number 7. You call it in the air. If I drop it, we're going to do it again, okay? Call it. Head. Head. It's tails, you win the toss. You want to kick, receive, defend the goal, or defer to the second half. You want to receive. Which goal do you want to defend? You want to defend? Go right around here. Face each other. Green, you want to toss. And we'll receive. Guys, have a good ball game.
Wonders will be on offense first, dressed in their home green, trimmed in white. There's some blue in those uniforms, but you can't notice it. Let's take a look at the offensive line first for Kannapolis.
And it's a good one. Desmond Miller headed to the Shrine Bowl. Ricky Mann, Nick Seyfert, Adam Singleton, and Philip Johnson. Then in the skill positions, William Kraft had a great game when we saw him last in the Bell game. Tron Brown and Nick Maddox. They will rotate the backs quite a bit tonight. Sheets, Steele, and Jenkins at the receiver slots. And then for the defense for Burns, Ray, Maddox, Tysinger, and Jeter. And then in the secondary and linebacking core, Melker, Harold, Logan, Jeter, Elmore, and Elmore. A lot of family relations here for the Burns team tonight. A lot of guys with the same name. Melker also plays on offense. That's Greg Melker. He was a receiver until about 6 games ago, Randy, and then they moved him to running back, and he's piled up about 800 yards in just 6 games. And I understand they have 2 sets of twins on this Burns squad tonight, and that's something you don't see very often. Tell you what, that's maybe a
A lineman's nightmare trying to chase two of them. Wonders will be moving right to left here on a field that was saturated very thoroughly with the rain we've had this week. But the good news is it has not been chewed up, because I think this is Kannapolis' first home game in about a month since the East Rowan game. Nick Maddox, number 20, back at about the 5-yard line. Corey Maxwell flags Hill, number 27. As Burns dressed out in that, I guess we'll call that Columbia blue, white and gold.
Boy, now this kid here put the ball down as the kicker. He can get a lot of beef behind the ball. Good gracious.
Yeah, I better check the air after he boots it. This is number 12, and this is Thomas Pruitt, 6'3", 270 pounds, and a senior. We're ready for round number 2 at Memorial Stadium. It's underway. A short kick. Kannapolis will get great field position, taken by one of the up men, and they'll be wrestled out of bounds at about the 31-yard line. Looked like Danny Jenkins, the wide receiver. So they did the smart thing, I guess, if you respect the run-back ability of Nick Maddox.
Well, you better. If you don't, he'll make you pay.
William Craft and company on the field. They'll set up shop at their own 31-yard line, first down. Looks like between the 40s is the worst part of this field. It will be chewed up substantially. It looks excellent, though, considering. They offset the backs and show 3 wideouts here, and Jenkins, the man in motion. Toss will go to Maddox, right side, hit at about the 34-yard line. Took a pretty good pop that time. 21, John Logan. Also, Craig Melker in on the tackle.
Looks like Maddox got about 3 or 4.
Well, spotted just shy of the 35-yard line.
Well, there's Kraft, and what a game he had in the Bell game against Concord. You know, a lot of folks were kind of down on him and calling for Justin Harden to move into the quarterback spot, and he shut all that up 2 weeks ago.
And a great game in Asheville. Toss coming big side. Maddox gets a good block. He's at the 40. He's at the 50. He's got 30 more, and is angled out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. The speed of Nick Maddox coming to the top on that play. Saving him from the touchdown is John Logan for Burns.
And what speed Nick Maddox has. He got a good block to spring him initially, and then he turned on the jets.
That was a great block.
Take a look at it again here. You'll see him come to this side. Look at Johnson there sealing it off, and a good block up front by the fullback, and then Maddox does the rest of this on speed.
It was the Johnsons that got him loose, Ebar and Phillip. And bumped out of bounds. Wonders first down and goal at the just inside the 9-yard line. Out of the eye, up the middle, John Brown, touchdown, Kannapolis.
And he was touched once, Randy, but he was already well downfield by the time it happened.
The Wonders offensive line blowing folks away in that offensive series.
Watch this. He finds a big hole there. One man tries to tackle him. An arm tackle won't do it against Brown, and he's in the end zone. You know, Tron said earlier in the season, Randy, he had a lot of nagging injuries last year and finally feels healthy this year, and he's showing it with the numbers he's putting up.
Justin Harden to hold for John Garber, who's had an outstanding year kicking the football. Good snap, the spot, the kick is up. It's a little low, but it gets across. And that's what counts. 11:05 to go in the first quarter. Wonders on top. As we return to Memorial Stadium, lightning right off the bat in the first 55 seconds of the game. The Wonders claim the lead as Melker and Logan are back deep. This one going down to about the 9-yard line. And returning it, but not very far. The Wonders coverage. Nick Gill, is he pumped?
I'm telling you, that was a tremendous tackle there. He smashed him. Take a look at the lineups there on offense. Yarborough, Hunt, Bridges, Melker, and Queen for the Burns Bulldogs. Wesley Green, a 3-year starter at the quarterback. Ramsor Melker, the guy we were telling you about who was a receiver. Hal, Logan, and Pruitt. And we'll check the Wonder defense after this.
Well, to really seize the momentum now, if you're a Wonder defensive guy, you want to stop them 3 and out. Our eye tailback buries the shoulder and goes for good yardage to the 27-yard line. Greg Melker threw the football. There you see the Wonders.
Philip Johnson, who was moved to the outside to start this season, had been an interior lineman, and he's had just a whale of a season. Willie Poore, one of the captains, Lenton Allen, and Desmond Miller, who's headed to the Shrine Bowl. Then you got Kennedy, Sheets, Caldwell, Gill, Maddox, and Rayvar Harris for the Wonders in the secondary.
Ball resting at the 28-yard line of Burns on 2nd and 4. Green goes to the tailback, and the Wonders stop him. He bounces off, still on his feet. He'll have the first down out across the 35 to the 37-yard line. Greg Melker would not go down. And a good run on the second effort by the young man who weighs the scales. He's one of the smallest guys on the team, 165.
And this is exactly the kind of game they want to play. Here's the scoring drive by Kannapolis. Brown with a 9-yard touchdown run, but it was set up by the huge gainer by Nick Maddox.
They'll have 2 wide receivers this time. Working out of the straight I. Green, tailback again. Slides off out across the 40 to the 41-yard line goes Melker. It looked like Marcus Kennedy, or Mark Kennedy over there, along with the number 2 guy, LaRon Caldwell, as we see Coach Ron Green, who kind of favors Will Brimley a little bit. You know?
Yeah, he does a little bit. This is the kind of game that they like to play, Randy. Kannapolis bottled that one up pretty well. He got about 2.5, maybe 3 yards on the play.
At the 41-yard line, 2nd and 7. Green with a quick count toss to Melker, trying to get around. He is bumped down that time. Looked like Gill was in there first. Sheets over there. And getting up
Paul
off
Allen was in it.
Paul got the bad side of that. Everybody fell on him.
You know, Randy Burns comes in here riding a 4-game winning streak, and they have done a great job. Melker, who's getting the bulk of the work here offensively right now, had 193 yards 2 weeks ago, so he can get the job done. As you heard the coaches talking about earlier, when they were speaking with Steve, their offensive line averages in the neighborhood of 250 pounds, so they like to play this smash mouth game, and they're doing it well now.
Slot on the left, out of the eye, 3rd and 4, and the Wonders jump. And that, if it's guilty of Kannapolis, that'll give the Bulldogs a first down.
Looked like 2 or 3 of the Wonders jump, but let's see if any of the Burns players moved.
Illegal procedure going to be the call. Nope, it's going to be against the Wonders. The way the Burns huddle was moving back, they kind of gave themselves away there.
Yeah, and Coach Harden, you know, he hates that kind of stuff. To give them a first down, you want to make them earn it.
At the about a foot shy of midfield is where they'll slide it, right in the middle of the big K. The far hash mark. They're kind of in the worst part of the field right now. For footing, that's where the tailback will set up. Ramsey slot it on the left side. And here we go on the route, and from behind, Paul Allen comes to the rescue of the Wonder defense, and he put number 74 on the ground. Excuse me. It was, we'll watch it again here, Woody.
Check it out. Looks like it is 20. Hard to see the number, but it wasn't Melker coming from the other side. But man, what great pursuit from Paul Allen. He came all the way from the other side of the field, Randy, ran through the blocking and just ran it down from behind.
A loss of 2. 2nd and 12, back to the 47-yard line. Tailback stuck. 54 for the Wonders. Coming up with authority that time was Rashad Robinson. And he just beat his man on the line of scrimmage. That's all you can say.
Sure did. Allen got in on it as well. And suddenly, Kannapolis has found some answers for this Burns attack. Now they got a big 3rd down play coming here. And you know, a team like Burns, Randy, who relies so heavily on that 3 yards in a cloud of dust type game, doesn't like to find themselves in this situation much. 3rd and long.
2 wide to the top. Green, straight drop. Plenty of time this time. We'll go deep. And this one caught. And it will be a touchdown.
Now, somebody for Kannapolis got knocked down while this ball was in the air. Maddox tipped it away, but a fine job of receiving it and bringing it in by Logan. Watch it at the end. See if you can see one of the Wonders get bumped down here while this one's in the air. Right there. That wasn't the result of a trip. He was bumped. But at any rate, a fine bit of concentration by Logan to reel that one in after Maddox got a hand on it.
So a 53-yard touchdown pass draws the Bulldogs, and they can pass. Back to within 1. Now Graham Elmore will hold for number 16, Scott Turner, to try to tie this ball game.
Understand Turner's got some good range too, Randy.
Kick is up, partially tipped, but it did get across the crossbar. 7:20 remaining. Opening period. It's still not got it again at 7-7. As we are tied, we are back here at Memorial Stadium. Both teams scoring on the big play. The Maddox run sets up the Tron Brown burst, and now the big play on 3rd and long, and a game of inches. Maddox looked like he had it tipped it away, but a great bit of concentration by Logan to hold on to the football and go on to the end zone.
And give credit to the Burns offensive line, too. They gave Green a long time to wait for that play to develop.
This one away from Maddox to Maxwell. He'll field it at about the 3, and is in trouble. Inside the 10-yard line, he got back to about the 8 before he was buried.
There's the scoring drive, the 52-yard touchdown catch by Logan. 7 plays, 78 yards, and they chewed up 345. But you got to think, Randy, if Kannapolis can get Burns in 3rd and long frequently tonight, they're going to be in good shape.
Yeah, it's not going to happen too many times like that. Right now, the Wonders are 92 yards away from the end zone.
Well, Maddox broke a 93-yarder last week, so keep that in the back of your mind.
They'll send 3 wide receivers out. Once again from the I formation. And it's Tron Brown this time. Bust off one guy out across the 10, maybe the 11-yard line. A couple of yards, possibly 3 on the play. Look like Elmore on the tackle, number 15.
There's Tron Brown. He's going to come out. No, he's going to stay in. Maddox is coming in now. Somebody's coming out. Okay, let's see who it is. Somebody's got to go. All right, coming out for the Wonders is going to be Justin Chambers. There he is.
Justin says, I want to stay in the backfield, guys. Well, Evar Johnson is the up back. Brown is still in the backfield, so they've got Maddox in the pass pattern. He split to the right of your screen. 2nd and 8. Play fake, Kraft, plenty of time, going deep. Single coverage on Maddox. This one incomplete. Almost intercepted, almost caught. And gambling and losing that time was Chris Jeter. I think he mistimed his jump.
Looked like it went right through his hands. And, you know, Maddox looked like he was a little upset with himself after that because the ball got through so cleanly, he believes he may have had a shot at bringing it in himself.
Ball hung up just a little bit that time on Kraft. And that was exciting. Jeter and Maddox in no man's land.
Yeah. That's got to be a lonely feeling knowing you are the only guy between Nick Maddox and a touchdown.
Let's see what Burns does here. 3rd down and 8 for the Wonders at the 10. They'll go the end around. This is Nick Gill, and he's lassoed and stopped.
Great open field tackle that time.
It was Alex Harrell who got him by the jersey and would not let go, and help arrived. And there is a late flag. That could be a personal foul after the tackle, Woody.
Now, the teams are still exchanging squads here, offense and defense coming on and off, and let's see if they're going to have to regroup. The call is a clip against the Wonders, so that'll be declined.
Okay, it was thrown late, so Bob Jacobs and Bruce Harden there you see on the sidelines.
Well, Bruce has already come out of the hat. Looks like the player he's upset with down there is Jason Rates.
Punting time for the Wonders, who are backed up deep inside the 5-yard line.
About as deep as you can get here for the punter.
Count, and Burns will peel for the return. Jenkins gets home a great kick. Fair catch signaled for and made at the 41-yard line by number 20 for Burns High School. That's Adam Elmore, and the Bulldogs will have great field position for their 2nd possession of the game.
Well, they really will. And Kannapolis gambled on that long pass, and when that didn't happen for them, they found themselves in a 3rd and relatively long. Tried the end around, found the defense and stayed home.
They're going to spot it right just inside the Wonder 42-yard line. Now I formation, and tailback got about 2. Gill there slowed him down. Help arrived later as they unpile. There's 44 Willie Poor. He's always around the football.
Yeah, Philip Johnson was there. That was a tackle en masse by the Wonders that time. And all of a sudden now, Randy, we've got Elmore in the backfield instead of the starter, Melker. Now Melker's back, and Elmore goes out.
Melker is your tailback on 2nd down and 9. Play fake. Green 30th time, rolls left, now pumps it upfield, and off the fingertips, incomplete, and a shot in the back by Robbins.
I'm telling you, he'll remember that next time he goes out. Tremaine laid him out down there on the sidelines, and that's a message sender.
Ball was a little bit high, I think, off the fingertips of the intended receiver. It's a receiver who may get on the bus and go home. Sure that was a shot. That's putting yourself in jeopardy.
You know, that time Green was real close to passing the line of scrimmage, Randy, before he put that one in the air.
Well, here's 3rd and long again, Woody. 39. 3 receivers split to the top. Single setback. Green definitely going in the air this time. It's incomplete and almost intercepted. Paul Allen had nothing but grass in front of him, and he held on. I think it scared him.
Yeah. So a little bit of pressure coming in there that time, too, for the Wonders, and maybe Green had to let that one go a little sooner than he wanted.
It'll bring up 4th down, and the Wonders will get the ball back. Where, and depending on how good their punter is, and we understand their kicking game is good. Maddox has returned 6 touchdowns this year on the returns. That's a combination of punts and kickoffs.
Boy, now I'm telling you, this is about the biggest kicker you'll ever see. Thomas Pruitt, 270 pounds. Boom.
And he kicks it away. He takes a good burn throw, and it will go out inside the 10-yard line.
He didn't have that much hang time. It didn't travel that much distance in the air, Randy, but what a roll.
You know, not making fun of him. He's so big, but he wears number 12. It looks like he's about 16 sizes too big for his uniform.
Yeah. Looks like he ought to have 122.
Put another 1 on that thing, or 2, yeah. Well, the game of field position is being won right now by Burns High School.
Now, let's see if Kannapolis tries to pound away a little bit more this time.
Ball resting just shy of the 9-yard line. 4:54 to go, opening period. We're knotted at 7, and William Kraft will call a timeout. We'll step away as well and return to Memorial Stadium after this. Welcome back. Randy Woodley along with Woody Kane, Steve Gant, the entire Metro 12 postseason production crew on hand here. 1st down and 10. Wonders. Toss to Maxwell. Good block. 10, 15, nearly. Maybe the 14-yard line.
Pretty good open field tackle that time, Randy, back there. It looked like it was either Elmore or Melker who made that stop, because Maxwell had some room there.
But Eeyore Johnson is just really getting in the way. And
I'm telling you,
put some leather on some folks.
Eeyore Johnson, a pretty big kid himself, 214 pounds, and he can move you out of the way.
Boy, it really makes it nice when you can get 7 yards on 1st down. At the 14-yard line. 2nd and 3. Tailback. Oh, a hole here. Sean Brown breaks the tackle. 1st down to the 24-yard line.
My goodness, Randy, Steve Gant could have gotten 5 yards on that play. That was a huge hole.
That's stretching it, but that's how big that hole was.
Flag is down evidently now.
Illegal shift against the Wonders, and it'll come back. Well, that's what Bruce was talking about. The penalties beat you.
Yeah, and a couple more of these, and Coach Harden's going to be about as hot as a match down there.
Well, maybe the Wonders need to go back on the road. They've been on the road for the last 3 weeks. And there's Ron Green and the brain trust for Burns High School across the far way.
So this is going to bring up a 2nd and long now for the Wonders. Looks like about 2nd and 8 or 9.
Almost back to the original line of scrimmage. Just right, let's call it the 10-yard line. 2nd and 9. Clock ticking inside 4 minutes to go. 1st period. Sheets, one of the wideouts, he's split to the right of your screen out of your picture. They'll send Gill, another one, in motion. And go with the trap off the right side. Fullback Johnson got maybe 2 that time, and then he's punished. 79 leading the charge. Jason Maddox, 245 pounds. Man,
looked like Ebar was going to have some room over there that time, Randy, but good job of closing it back down by the Burns defense up front.
Wonders trying a little misdirection there. Johnson will come out as it is 3rd down. You would think single setback passing situation. That's what they show. Maddox the lone back of the backfield. 3 wide. Watch the tight end. Oh, they're going to toss it to Maddox. He's got a block. He's got the first down, and he's got more.
Whoa!
Out to the 35-yard line. Boy, that was pretty.
And what a pop he got at the end there, Randy, that time from Jason Jeter, number 69. Another 270-pounder. Looked like Maddox was going to have a little daylight to get all the way on this, but a good job pursuing it from behind. Watch here at the end, 69, right here. Boom, 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 kapow. Man, and Maddox slid 5 yards after he hit the ground.
Desmond Miller with a great block to get him initially past the line of scrimmage.
That's why he's going to the Shrine Bowl.
Well, that'll get you perhaps 3. Don't quit until you hear the whistle. And that's what the Wonders do. Guard running backs, Ivar Johnson, Tron Brown, Corey Maxwell, Nick Maddox.
Boy, Johnson getting the ball a little bit more than we're accustomed to seeing him get it this early. And
what did Larry Mason always say? Well, you got to give a fullback a ball 4 or 5 times a game to keep him happy. How else is he going to block?
Yeah, but you know, Ivar Johnson, I think he's the kind of guy who's just as happy if he gets to go out there and pound somebody.
He could care less, probably. Yeah. 2nd down and 7. 38-yard line. Toss. Maddox, 2 great moves into the secondary. Breaks 1 tackle and is finally brought down inside the Burns 40-yard line. What unbelievable moves. It was Jeter who finally kept him out of the end zone.
Watch this right here. I got him, coach. No, you don't. I got him. No, you don't. And Maddox is off to the races.
Watch again, Ivar Johnson with a good block. He went behind that and then made an incredible move.
Man,
they better check for socks back upfield because a couple of guys were going in different directions. Gil Jenkins are wide to the top this time from the Birds 33-yard line. Tron Brown hits the middle for about a yard.
Maddox, Randy, already has 113 yards. In the Asheville game, he went over 200 yards in one contest for the 4th time this season. So he's, boy, I'm telling you what, Maddox is a guy, along with Tron Brown there, this bunch can make you look real bad if you don't do everything just right.
Here you see it from the Wonder Bench. Almost a field-level shot with Buster's Plumber's porch in the background, or the perch, I guess. It's lit up tonight, and it's splendid holiday codes. 2nd and 9. Toss to Maddox, following the block of Johnson. He's got the corner. Jukes him in, and then does the smart thing, goes out of bounds. It'll be a 1st down for Kannapolis.
You mentioned the key to that, Randy, a good block by Johnson. He didn't just block 1 guy, he clogged up 2 or 3 of them that time to allow Maddox to get around the end. Now watch it again here, and look at the top of your picture, number 34. Watch how many guys at the top of your picture Johnson clogs up. Watch here. Look at that. He got in the way of 3 of them that time. He hit 2 of them. And Maddox was gone.
Ivar was salivating when he looked around and said, oh boy, 3 guys. At the 19-yard line, 1st down. The clock shows 1 minute to go in the opening period. Our score tied at 7. Jenkins in motion. They'll go short side to Tron Brown. He breaks the initial line of scrimmage, breaks another tackle inside the 10, near another 1st down and out of bounds.
And pretty good blocking downfield by Gill as well to help out at the end of that.
Tron Brown had 1,133 yards, 13 touchdowns, and a 6.3 per carry average coming into tonight's ball game. And Maddox, almost 1,700 yards with an 8.7. How many times do you have the luxury of having those 2?
That's something.
2nd down. He stepped out of bounds at the 14-yard line. Brown off the left side. Got to be close to the 1st down, depending on the spot. And making a pretty hard tackle. And he's slow to get up. That looks like number 50. That's David Hunt. 6 foot, 200-pound senior.
Crab. Now, you see here, Brown coming out, Maddox going in. This is how Kannapolis will pound you and really wear you out. They keep fresh legs in the game all the time. Maddox goes out, Johnson comes in. They go out, Maxwell comes in. Then you run Tron Brown again. 125 yards rushing already tonight for Nick Maddox.
It's 3rd down and 1 at the 10-yard line. They'll go to the trap, and that's going nowhere. It'll set up 4th down. Good play. Getting into the backfield was Pruitt to mess things up as the 1st quarter will come to an end. We'll go all the way down and await the Wonders' decision on 4th down when we return. The Wonders have elected to go for it on the first play of the second period. 4th and 3 from the 12-yard line. Brown and Johnson in the backfield behind Kraft. And a long count, he'll stand up and call a timeout. Trying maybe to get Burns to jump off.
Yeah, that may have been their plan, Randy. See if you can draw him off. If not, we'll kick the field goal. And you see Kraft is going to come over there and talk about it with Coach Harden. But I don't see the... Well, let's see. Jenkins is back there, and
I don't see the number 6 guy.
Yeah, he would be the one who would kick it. Don't forget headliners coming up Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. We'll have, hopefully, Bruce Harden and E.Z. Smith on the program if both their respective teams advance, and then another game next Friday. And if that happens, boy, both those teams meeting again in the playoffs would be something to behold.
And if it doesn't happen, we'll have headliners for you the last week of August.
Yeah.
Not Wednesday.
Well, the Wonders still trying to decide what they want to do here. They've got the huddle going, and it looks like they're going to go. They only have one left. They burned 2. Remember, Kraft called one earlier in the first quarter when the Burns team showed him a defensive look that he wasn't comfortable with, and now here comes the kicking unit, looks like.
No, it's Mark Kennedy.
Nope, you're right.
And Johnson and Maddox are now going to be in. They'll bring out Jenkins, a wide receiver, so we'll probably have a... This is going to be interesting. Let's see what...
Well, you're relying here, Randy, on the confidence of your defense if you don't get it. The Wonders, keep in mind, coming in here, the last 3 games have allowed a grand total of 20 points.
4th and 3 at the 12. Johnson in motion. Toss to Maddox. And we're waiting on him. A flag is down at the point of tackle. He got about 2 on the play.
They sure were waiting on him, but let's see what the call is going to be here. This could give Kannapolis a first down, but no, it looks like it's going to be a motion penalty.
And they're going to decline that penalty, so Burns will take over, and is Ron Green happy?
Yeah, well, Ron Green, last time he was here, Randy, saw his team lose in triple overtime, so you know he wants this one fairly badly. I'd say more than fairly. He wants it real bad.
And that's bad. That's pretty bad.
That's way up there on the hugeness scale.
Yeah. He said he let his players talk him into going for 2 that night, and if he hadn't, then Bruce was content to kick extra points to him by 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Power I formation this time at the 12-yard line. They'll go with the run. Nothing fancy there. Got maybe 3 yards. As the soiled uniforms becoming even more soiled there for Jeter and company.
Desmond Miller finally got him down. He bounced off the initial wave and was still trying to fight his way upfield, and Miller came through and finished him off.
11.5 minutes to go in the first half. It's been a great ball game so far. They'll have 1 wide out to the big side of the field, the right of your screen. Wonders show 5-2. And there's a mix-up in the backfield, and he almost got away from it. They almost blew the exchange, Woody.
Yeah, and I think there were so many Kannapolis players around, they were bumping each other. That was Charles Ramseur there who got the ball, but there were so many green shirts around, they couldn't all find enough of the ball carrier to slam around. There's Nick Maddox getting a rest, and he normally is in at a defensive back. You know, after the East Rowan game, Randy, the Kannapolis team made a slew of defensive changes that they had been thinking about for a few weeks. They made them after that East Rowan game, and the defenses responded well. There's a jump.
Yep, and it was 3rd and 5, and was it a long 5? We'll just see. It may give him a first down, or was he drawn off? Let's see what the referee does, and it's going to be against the Wonders. And if it moves it past the stick, I think it's going to be enough for the first down. Yep.
There's some of the fans up there, and
hot chocolate night, indeed.
Yeah, and a blanket night, too. Looked like it was Robinson, Rashad Robinson, who jumped that time, a 6'1", 215-pound junior. And a good thing about it, his teammates immediately went over and consoled him and said, don't worry about it, just keep your head in it, and we'll be all right.
First down at the 23-yard line of Burns, fullback. Oh, he gets loose after the 31-yard line. That was a flag on the play, so that one might come back as Ramseur. That's the advantage. You got a big fullback like that.
You see the Kannapolis team pointing. It's going to be a hold against Burns.
And the first major penalty against the Bulldogs tonight.
Hey, look, there's the Bulldog.
Ah, Stevie.
You need you a suit like that. I don't know if I've ever seen a Bulldog stand quite like that before, though.
Could be a lady Bulldog.
Maybe. That wouldn't be a Bulldog, though.
That's
Maybe be a cow dog, I guess.
it's
Okay, let's change the subject before we get in trouble here.
back to the 16-yard line. It's 1st and 16. Here we go with a little end around, and Jeter bumped down. Number 19 over there to make sure he didn't go anywhere for the Wonders was Raybar Harris, who had a great game a couple of weeks ago against the the Spiders at defensive back. The line to make is the just over the 34-yard line to keep the drive going as we take inside 10 minutes here in the first half. Wonders scoring in 3 plays very quickly on their first possession. And on a 3rd and long, ball tipped, made a catch, and a 53-yard pass tied it up. A couple of minutes later for Burns. Here's Green to the air. Out of the flags, got a man wide open. Jukes one and staying home and knocking him out of bounds. Tremaine Robinson with a great open field tackle at the 29-yard line.
Sure was, Randy. At that time, you saw all kinds of moves going on over there to try and fake him out of the way.
It was maybe Raphael Howell. We have an 82 on the roster, but that number is showing 81. So we'll call and give the credit to the catch to Howell. Here we go, winning 3rd down, relatively long, and 5. Back to where we were about 2 minutes ago. The tight formation, except for the lone wideout at the top of your screen. Toss, trying to get the corner. And he will dive. And did he go out of bounds, or did he get past the stick? Yep, I believe they're going to move the chains.
Looks like he got it, and that dive at the end is what made it, Randy.
They had him there for a moment, and just good determination by Melker. Greg Melker, number 28. He comes in at 5'8", 165 pounds. Kind of a Corey Alexander type build, but
he's
not quite as fast.
I was going to say, he doesn't have that kind of speed. He looks bigger than that, though.
Yeah, he does. 1st down and 10 with 8:05 to go first half. Ball at the 35 of Burns. Fullback. Oh, hello. Sheets meeting Ramseur after about a 2-yard gain.
And Sheets, Randy, was one of those defensive changes the Wonders made after that East Rowan game that we talked about, and he was exactly where he needed to be that time. It looks like the ball carrier's hurt. I think that's Ramseur.
I believe so. He was got pounded there. And we have a timeout. We'll take one as well. The score tied at 7. It will be 2nd down and 7. Just over the 37-yard line of Burns.
Ramseur got up and left under his own power, Randy. Kyle Brown, number 44, now replaces him at fullback.
Green. And, there's some collisions going on right now on the 40-yard line. Hello. Good to see you. Jeff Sheets and Melker.
That was, I think that was Kennedy. Philip Johnson was there, but Sheets got in on it, too. Another, maybe 2 yards.
It's the kind of drive that drives you crazy, like you were saying, 3 in a cloud of dust. Here we go, 3rd down and 4. Actually, it's a long 4. They need to make the 45-yard line. The ball just shy of just over the 40. You got to execute. Name of the game. Green almost gets the Wonders to jump again.
Now, Burns may have jumped that time, Randy. I don't think that he crossed the line of scrimmage. And he didn't. He got back, and some of the Burns players down on the left side of the line left a little early.
Yep, illegal procedure. So they've had a holding call that they've overcome in this drive, and now they'll have to overcome the illegal procedure call. It'll set up 3rd and a long 9.
The Wonders got a couple of penalties early, but now they're all starting to go against Burns.
They'll have the lone receiver on the bottom of your screen, just to keep them honest, I believe. Man in motion this time is Elmore. Here's Green to the air. A field tip, intercepted. Wonders coming back the other way. But number 2, this is Caldwell, and he'll return it inside the 25-yard line. A flag upfield. Wesley Green, the man who threw the football, on the tackle.
Now we got a Wonder hurt back upfield here, but now he's going to get up. Watch watch this. They're going to send him out here. It was a great pattern. The ball just a little bit high, and he tipped it in the air. Caldwell gets it, comes upfield, and watch the quarterback get him at the end right there. How often do you see a good open field tackle by your quarterback? This one's going to come way back.
But more importantly, if you're Kannapolis, the Wonders do have the football. And
that's all they care about right now.
And not too bad a field position at midfield.
Oh, and that was a great pattern run. There's Maddox, Randy, still on the sidelines. I wonder if
just rested.
Well, he didn't play that defensive series much. Now he's back in there and at the tailback. Maybe they're just trying to keep his legs fresh.
Well, could be Burns doesn't throw the ball a lot, so yeah. You got to save him. 1st and 10. Johnson is the up back from midfield. Toss. Maddox with a block from Johnson. He'll have 3 yards. Tried the stiff arm and couldn't get away that time. A good open field tackle by Adam Elmore, who has been in on a few here already.
Neat little stutter step that time, though, in the backfield, Randy, from Maddox to turn what could have been a 2-yard loss into a 2-yard gain.
Well, right now it's been the effective running of Brown and Johnson and Maddox. And boy, if Kraft would go back and put it in the air, I could catch some people sleeping in the secondary. Right now, go ahead.
They've been content to run the ball, and they've moved the ball well on the ground.
They show Jenkins and Gill to the bottom. Toss to Maddox. Ivar Johnson a little upset that time. He blocked the guy, Melker, into Maddox.
Yeah, he did. He kind of tripped Nick up as he was trying to hop over him that time. And now you're going to have Tron Brown coming back in for the Wonders along with Tremaine Robinson.
That'll be 3rd down at the 47 of Burns. 6 minutes, 15 seconds to go, first half. Clock running. The Wonders have had the long drives. Having been turned over by Downs last time out at the Burns 12. Kraft with some time this time, rolling out, dumps it upfield, in and out of the hands, and it would have been enough for the first down at about the 39-yard line. Jenkins diving on the ground and couldn't hang on.
After some early success, Randy, from Maddox, the Burns team has found out he's the guy you got to stop, and he has 2 net yards on his last 3 carries.
Jenkins will stay at the punt.
Looks like it's going to be Melker going deep. Either he or Elmore.
Hard to see those little bitty blue numbers who are becoming rather brown right now with all the mud as they continue to chew up the turf here at Memorial Stadium. 6 minutes exactly to go. Jenkins with a good job punting the football all season long. Callie, make sure he's got enough guys out there. And a long count. Not much pressure. Jenkins moves end over end. Fair catch signal for it. Burns will have it at their own 16-yard line. Catch made by Adam Elmore.
Good thing he did, because Tony McKinney right there, number 21, had scorched his way down the field. It was just about as eager as you can be to lay a pop on him.
We saw them practice that in the warm-up drills. They had about 10 guys going at the guy. They said, make the fair catch. I guess that's a concentration drill, but I don't think I want to be the guy making the catch.
That's another one of those lonely jobs.
Oh, yeah. Wesley Green and company back out at their own 16-yard line. And it will be the tailback hitting the line for about 5, maybe 6 that time.
And they're starting to pound their way through, Randy. They're content to play this game all night long. They're good at it. And Melker, you see there by the way his uniform looks that he's done a lot of work already.
22-yard line, a gain of 6 on the play. And you eventually wear your opponents down by pounding. You play field position. You don't make mistakes. You don't turn it over. And find yourself in a position to win the game at the end.
Oh, great tackle back there. Looked like it was Gill.
Kennedy over there, along with Gill, I believe, and 54 for the Wonders, who we made mention of earlier, Rashad Robinson.
Melker had some room that time, a little more than it looked like, and the officials are going to take a timeout now. Are they going to measure?
The line to make was just over the 26-yard line.
Yeah, here they come. They're going to measure, looks like.
Well, you got to get the official appearance sometime by the chain crew.
Here they go.
I asked them if they had 6 downs on that stick tonight. They kind of laughed.
About a foot short. Melker started to come through, Gill was battling a blocker, and as Melker started to go by him, Nick just kind of jumped on his back and rode him down.
3rd and a foot.
39 yards on 9 carries so far from Melker in the game.
The fog starting to settle in here in the valley.
He slipped.
And good.
I don't think he got it.
It'll be close.
Let's see.
They gave him progress, though.
We'll see. Looked like as he tried to plant and take one of his first steps, you see the fog there settling in. He did get it, but it looked like one of his feet almost came out from under him as he was getting close to the line of scrimmage.
Hey, Buster and those guys over there on the perch won't be able to see the game after halftime. This stuff keeps rolling in.
They don't have as much company over there as they normally do for a ball game.
Yeah. The chilly weather runs off all those fair weather fans.
Yeah, but this is football weather here now.
Put another coat on.
There you go.
4.5 minutes to go in the first half. Toss. They'll go, whoa, right up Cowboy, out to the 30-yard line. Boy, Melker, that's what you call giving it up.
He did. He gave his ribs up for the team that time, trying to jump over about 3 guys, and Kannapolis stacked it up pretty well.
He's the attacking type tailback.
Boy, now you want to talk about a guy who's going to be ready for a good night's sleep after a game. It's going to be Melker. That kid is involved heavily in just about every play, goes both ways.
Probably has a voracious appetite, burns up about 30,000 calories a night. Tight eye formation. Fullback stood up nowhere. Number 44 beat number 55. It was Desmond Miller, the Shrine Bowler.
That was a Shrine Bowl type tackle there.
Nowhere for Kyle Brown to go, and that's a big stop that puts him in a 3rd and long now.
Desmond said, no, not in here.
He's about 245, still growing, I think. Well, you stop him here, you get the ball back. Tied, 3.5 in the first half. Slot on the right with a wide receiver to the short side of the field. Green play fake. Pressure backside.
Oh!
That's going to be
a grounding, isn't it?
Well, Bruce says, I can't believe it. He did a 360 on the sidelines. He asked the linesman, and he says, no, going to be 4th down.
And breaking through that time was either Rashad Robinson or Miller again, but they pounded him. And you're right, Randy. Bruce Harden twirled around there and was waving his arms. He thought it was going to be grounded because he was actually in the arms of the defender
there was nobody.
as the ball went away. Yeah.
No, didn't see anybody in a blue shirt or a white shirt over there.
Now, you mentioned that Kannapolis will have some time to score. They may not have to worry about a drive because one of the best kick returners around is back deep for the Wonders.
He has 37 touchdowns in all categories. High snap. The Wonders had peeled back, preparing for the return. Oh, what a roll. And at the 30-yard line.
They sure did, Randy. They turned their backs that time as the snap was high. They turned back around when they realized or heard the crowd gasp that time, but it was too late.
I'll tell you what, the guy who was gasping was the punter.
Yeah. Guarantee you, that's where your Adam's apple just rises up about a foot.
Oh no.
All right, so the Wonders will have just inside 3 minutes to go for William Kraft and company.
As that's not that smoke they set off at the beginning of the game. That's the fog. It's getting a little bit lower here.
Yeah, it is.
This is shades of the Gator Bowl.
Remember that game the Bears played several years ago
yeah.
like this?
Offset the backfield. Maddox with a great block at the line of scrimmage. Gets to the corner turn. Gets a good block by Jenkins upfield, and it will go out of bounds to stop the clock at the 39-yard line near the first down marker.
And that's key, Randy. That block by Jenkins only got Maddox about 3 more yards, but the important thing is that it allowed Nick to get the out-of-bounds marker and stop the clock. So the Wonders, now keep in mind, they only have the 1 timeout remaining. That enabled Maddox to stop the clock without Kannapolis having to burn that last timeout.
It only took 6 seconds for that play. Second and a short one. Or a long one, I should say. Brown has the first down and then some. That will stop the clock as they move the chains out to the 43-yard line. The clock as they move the chains out to the 43-yard line. Tron Brown. You think, well, we got Maddox. He's tired. He's out. Here comes Brown back, and that's like another shot of adrenaline running at you. That's a...
They just keep running fresh bodies at you from that backfield all night long. You talk about the way the Burns line pounds you and pounds you. Kannapolis does it too, but in a different way. They keep using a different guy all the time, and boy, you expect the guy to lose a half a step by the end of the game, but not as fresh as they keep their legs.
Toss to Maddox. Skips out one man, 45 midfield. Out of bounds at the Burns 46, maybe the 45-yard line. He tiptoed down the sidelines and injured Wonder upfield.
That's Evar Johnson.
Evar Johnson.
And a pretty good block down here for the Wonders, Randy, by Rashad Robinson, too.
As you see the injured Johnson on the field, will step away with 2:22 to go before halftime. As we return, and do not adjust your television set, that is the fog rolling in here.
This ain't Foggy Bottom, it's Annapolis.
Ain't nothing wrong with your set. We'll try to show you the players as long as we can. Maddox hit the backfield and stopped for no gain.
And good pursuit back there. Good work up front to break through was Pruitt.
It was Todd Brown, and he just never got to the little skip to the outside. Johnson, who was injured on the last play, is back on the field now. Brown is out. Maddox is back in. Mark Kennedy is out. And let's see, we'll have Gill and Jenkins split to the top. And 91 to the bottom of your screen will be Justin Chambers.
Inside 2 minutes to go now.
Toss to Maddox. Trying to get out of a tackle. Gets down to about the 44-yard line.
Great open field tackle down there. Looked like 65.
Ronnie Melker, the 210-pound senior. Well, if you're going to put it up, here's the chance. Third down.
A minute and a half to go now, and the clock's still running. The Wonders trying to hang on to that last time out in case they can get close.
William Kraft on here.
Excuse me, Randy Maddox, 150 yards now on 12 carries, and that's quite an average.
That's not bad for a one half.
And there's the last time out. He saw something again he didn't like and has to come over to the sidelines and talk about it.
$1:12 to go here before halftime. As they are out of timeouts, we will step away as well.
Welcome to London.
There's Shield. Chapman stood down to 9, mates.
Whoa. Look at that fog.
They do have split backs here, believe me.
They really do. Trust us.
Kraft rolling. Plenty of time now. Now he's being chased, and we'll dump it upfield. Incomplete. Down at about the 30-yard line. That'll force the Wonders into fourth down.
And good coverage by the Burns secondary downfield because Kraft had time, bought himself some more by rolling out, but simply couldn't find an open man. Look at that. Lumber's Perch normally clear as a bell over there.
They vacated.
Yeah, you can't see it at all.
The clearest shot we got is like, you see, about 10 feet off the ground. That's the, we're going to have to go to the groundhog cameras. Man, if this thing keeps rolling in. Fog can only go so low. That's one thing.
Well, so much moisture in the air after the heavy rains we had yesterday.
Jenkins in punt formation.
They're not putting anybody back.
And he just barely gets it away. A high snap. He gets it away, and it takes a good Wonder roll, and we'll go down to about the 11-yard line.
They faked that one that time, Randy, and had Melker or Elmore all the way back and around the 20. Right before the snap, he spread it all the way up to the line of scrimmage to try and get in on that one. That's one of the most unusual fake punt returns you'll ever see.
That's a running start. I'm going to block it. Boy.
Hard to time that thing from 30 or 40 yards out.
You've got to go early.
Yeah.
52 seconds to go. Burns with their ground attack. Can they go 89 yards? Green will have to put it in the air, I would think.
No receivers, though.
Yep, they're going to go to the fullback, and Marcus Kennedy says, "Hello, I got you, Mr. Melker," and that'll be it. Knapp was out of timeouts, cannot stop the clock, and I don't know if Burns wants to.
Doesn't look like it.
Just happy to, well, you play the first half to get to the second half. Nothing's been decided. You're not behind. You're not ahead. Adjustments will be made. We will have a halftime show for you, barring any more soup coming in here.
You may only be able to hear the band, though. You might not be able to see them.
Oh, a fumble, and Green, lucky, got a good bounce, got back on it.
And that is dangerous territory right there.
Exactly. That's going to do it here in the first half. It's been a good one. It should be. We're in the 97 playoff second round. 7-7 as they go to the locker room. A great ball game here tonight at Memorial Stadium here as we come back, get set for the second half. 7-7 our score between Burns and A.L. Brown of Kannapolis, and let's check some numbers from the first half.
Well, the thing that jumps out at you there for Kannapolis, Randy, no yards passing. Now, you see Burns has 59 passing. Almost all of that came on one big play. The total yards fairly similar. First downs, everything else fairly even. 0 of 3 passing for Kannapolis. That's a little bit surprising. Penalties not too out of hand for either team. The 1 turnover so far in the game. And then as we look at our storyline, Burns has bent a lot, but they haven't broken except for the one time when Maddox got the big run down the sidelines and set up the touchdown. And you see the numbers for him there, 150 yards. Kraft over 3 so far in the air for the Wonders.
And, of course, I think they've got about, what, 60, almost 60 yards on that one play that set up the Wonder touchdown. But he is really unstoppable if he gets that little initial block at the line of scrimmage, able to make the move. And for the Wonders here, it is key. How many times we always say it, you've got to hold the opponent. The third down or third quarter possession, very important, and Burns will get the ball here in the second half.
Well, I tell you what, Randy, talk about Nick Maddox. About 2 years from right now, that kid's going to be making some college coach very, very happy.
Oh, I would think so. Well, somebody's going to make Tron Brown's going to make a college coach happy, I think, next year.
No question. He's a good guy.
Not count some of these other kids that are seniors on this Wonder team. And 24 more minutes. And you live to play another week if you're lucky enough to survive. And I guess that's what you do in the playoffs. As Jeff Sheets kind of squibs it in no man's land. And, Lord, if that had come down in bounds, that's anybody's ball.
And it's going to give the Burns team some excellent field position here to start the second half. And, you know, that's the last thing they want to look like. Sheets just got a little bit under it.
Now the Kannapolis defense set for the big pass play. And a great catch by Logan. This kept Burns modeled up pretty well.
Well, we talked about the changes they made after the Easter Rand game. And, again, they've only given up 20 points in the last 3 games total. So the defense is very, very solid.
Wesley Green has done a good job running the Bulldog attack tonight. They slot it out of the eye. And the toss for 3 yards, perhaps a late flag.
That was Melker, and Gill wrestled him out of bounds. Let's see what the flag's going to be.
Was it a face mask? I didn't see it. Yep.
Yeah, it is.
And they'll tack that on from the point of the foul. And that will give Burns great field position up near midfield.
Didn't see who was guilty of the face mask, but there were, after Gill had him, a couple more Wonders came in late.
Well, we're glad to report the fog looks like it has dissipated somewhat from what it was at the end of the second quarter.
It couldn't get much thicker.
All we needed was the Gloucesterman fisherman, and you hear that. We'd have to bring out the lighthouse before this game was over with. That's the goal line, guys.
Man.
To the Wonder 43-yard line. First down and 10, Burns. The 8 of the penalty. Here we go with the end around. Sheets misses. And another missed tackle. And finally squeezed at about the 35-yard line.
That's Robinson.
And our apologies, it's hard to see the number.
Along with Paul Allen.
I believe that was Logan carried the football.
And this, except for the long pass play, Randy, I believe, is the deepest Burns has been.
35-yard line of the Wonders. Pickup of 8 on the play, 2nd and 2. It looked like it was going to go for more. Tailback. And they'll have the first down near the Wonder 30-yard line. Once again, Logan carrying the football. As the crowd settles back into their seats here after halftime. I was a little bit late to get back out of the press box. I kind of lost my way. It was so foggy outside.
Yeah, you ran into a couple of familiar Kannapolis faces out there at halftime, I saw.
Yeah, Reggie Wells. You guys remember, the Wonder fans remember him, state championship year.
And what a big game he had in that championship game.
Green will play fake going to the air. Looking on the out pattern, and 3 Wonders down there on the coverage at about the 15-yard line. Looked like they were trying to hit Chris Jeter.
And even had the Wonders not been there, he was going to have to go out of bounds to catch that one, looked like.
Yeah, Reggie was there, or Reggie Wells and his brother Reuben, who was a good running back here in the Wonder years, and good to see the guys. Feel like homecoming out there.
Yeah.
They can still play.
All the old Kannapolis guys start coming out when it gets to be playoff time.
Oh, yeah. 2nd and 10. Toss, sweep right side. Logan with some room. Bumped out of bounds by Robinson.
And the Burns fans want a flag over there.
And they get it.
Well, the problem wasn't that they pushed him out of bounds. The problem was that they rode him down and stuck his head in the turf after they got him out of bounds.
So tack it on. Dead ball fell after the tackle. And that will get Burns into the red zone.
And 2 big penalties on this drive against Kannapolis.
And the Wonders are beating themselves.
6 penalties for 60 yards so far for Kannapolis.
So they have equaled their penalty output of the first half. And we have a timeout called by the Wonders as Bill Whiteman will go out and talk to his troops on the defensive side. 10:38 to go, 3rd period. Burns has it 1st down and 10 just outside the 10-yard line. Going to their power game. Tailback lowers the head and goes for about 3. That was Melker that time. Hemmed in. There you see the penalty situation.
And that is what has hurt Kannapolis during this drive. Burns, that was only, what, the 6th play of the drive. They've gained 30 yards on this drive alone. The face mask and then the personal foul on the far side out of bounds.
Well, the last 10, though, were tough. They can get a 1st down and not the touchdown. At about 2 feet from the goal line.
62 yards on 15 carries for Melker so far.
Power eye this time.
Oh, wow.
Sheets. And then the pursuit catches up and stops him about the 6. That sets up 3rd down and about 5.
Man, I'm telling you what, that kid has already played a full ball game or 2 here.
They should change and put him a clean jersey on, at least at halftime. He's earned that.
No, man, you can't get out of here with a clean jersey. A guy like him, he'd probably be ashamed to go home with a clean jersey.
Okay. We have a timeout called by Burns this time. Back in just a moment. Talking about key possessions as we look at the clock. That is actually 9:41. Here we go on 3rd down. They go to the end around Logan. Hit, stop, and is he into the end zone? Touchdown.
And Randy, 3 Wonders had shots at him that time, but could not get him down.
And Burns breaks out on top for the first time of the game.
Looked like Nick Gill, number 82, had the first shot at him, then a couple of more took their licks as he went through, but they could not quite get him down and then couldn't get him out of bounds. Watch here. Here's Gill. He misses. Harris misses. And looking like at the end there, it was Eric Caldwell. No, check that. It was LaRon Caldwell who missed him at the end. 2nd touchdown for Logan in the game. And boy, what a drive that was. That chewed up a lot of time.
Scott Turner now to attempt the all-important extra point here. It's down. It's up. It's blocked. And coming through for the Wonders, it looked like Kennedy, or was it Tremaine Robinson? That's who got. That is a big extra point. We have 9:35 remaining in the 3rd period. Back with the Bulldog kickoff in just a moment. Well, there's the guy we said they got to give him a bigger jersey. That's Thomas Pruitt. Of course, he switches. He wears 56.
I wonder what kind of a shirt he's got on underneath there. You can see it poking out.
A warm one. Yeah. And he'll boot it deep this time. And it will be Maddox at the 1. Looking for the seam. Gets away from 1 tackle. Gets a good block. And will go out of bounds. Good return out over the 30-yard line. Well, people just start screaming when Nick makes that initial move or slants or whatever. He's a fun kid to watch.
He's exciting, no question, anytime he gets the ball. There you see the drive. Logan, a 6-yard run. Chewed up 225. It just seemed like it took much longer than that, but 62 yards. Now, keep in mind, 30 of that came from Kannapolis penalties.
So the Wonder defense, with their penalties, kind of put themselves in a hole, and now character building time. Let's see what happens. 3 wide outs, working from the eye. Johnson and Maddox in the backfield. Toss toss to Maddox. And he tried to reverse his field and was hit and met abruptly. That was David Hunt, the 200-pound senior lineman. And doing a little dance there. Stops Maddox for a 2-yard loss.
Well, Maddox saw what was coming, tried to cut it back and go the other way, but just didn't have any room. Coach Ron Green evidently gave some kind of a halftime speech because his team has come out fired up here in the second half.
They lead it 13-7 with 9 minutes to go in the third period. Toss to Maddox. He'll try this side. He gets the block, gets back to the original line of scrimmage.
That time, Randy,
That was Harrell on the tackle.
a pretty good block going on out there by Ivar Johnson, but able to find his way off of it at the end and get Maddox. It looked like the block didn't hold up quite as long as the Wonders would have hoped. Good job by Harrell to find his way off the block and make that tackle.
Well, we tried left side, we tried right side. Let's try the middle, perhaps.
Well, Kannapolis, keep in mind, Randy, is really not trying to throw very much in this game.
Just
We're
three.
going to see it here almost for sure.
Just 3 attempted passes. Third down and 10. Toss to Maddox. He's going to throw it. No, not now. He saw the protection break down, and he also saw the receivers covered downfield. So maybe, Nick, a wise decision just to eat the football there.
Sure was. That could have been an interception had he gone ahead. There were just too many bodies around him, and the coverage downfield was too good on the Kannapolis receivers, and Nick had to pull the ball down. It was Melker who got him.
Jenkins will have to punt it again.
And going back deep, excuse me, Randy, is Elmore.
Jenkins standing at about the 15-yard line. The up back is Maddox to block. Jenkins gets a good one. This one up in the air, fair catch signal for, and there's a flag. I think they ran into the intended receiver, the punt receiver.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to stop and get out of the way, but the ball went shorter than he thought. The penalty is going to be on Nick Safert, I believe. He couldn't get out of the way in time. Take a look at it again here as the punt goes up. And watch Safert right here trying to get out of the way, but he didn't give the receiver a chance to catch that ball.
Yeah, you got to give him, a couple of yards at least. I think there's a minimum.
There's Coach Whiteman on the sidelines, not too thrilled about that turn of events. Now, I wonder.
And then again, we saw a legal participation call early in the year, our broadcast season, where the guy made the fair catch, got it, well, you get away from him, but he went and blocked somebody, and that's a whole different call. This time, the receiver really just couldn't get to the football.
Now,
you can't cry wolf.
no, you can't do that. The officials are laying out the options to him, and I think they might have the option to make him kick it again, but surely they'll just take the ball here and take the yardage. They'll decline it.
No, they want the football.
Well, maybe their only option would have been to make them kick it again.
Well, you would be out of your mind maybe to turn it down at your own 47-yard line. So they're saying, well, Jenkins, he had a good punt, but they had been saving one all year. You never know. And then again, you could fumble it. So now the Wonder defense will be tested.
Yeah, no doubt. This is, you mentioned character builder before. This is it right here.
Green and company with the football again. Toss to Melker. He's going around the right side, gets a good block, and then tripped up. I believe it was Raybar Harris who got him. Poor and Johnson over there. Yeah, Philip Johnson been kind of quiet tonight. They've been doing a good job on him.
Yeah, well, they've run away from him quite a bit tonight. That's one of the few times they've gone where he was.
Pick up a 5 on the play to the Wonder 48-yard line.
And this is the kind of game, Randy, that Burns likes. They've got the lead. Now all they want to do is just line up and make that clock go away.
Tailback stop, maybe a yard that time. Wonders Johnson there along with Kennedy to stop Melker. And it's easy to see him. There you see some of the turf being chewed up. Melker's the dirtiest guy.
Yeah, he'll be the hardest to see. It looks like he's wearing camouflage out there, the way he's got that uniform dirty. Another third down test for the Wonder defense and the Burns offense. Burns has been very good at converting third downs tonight, Randy, and here's another challenge now. The Wonders desperately need a stop here. They can't afford to go down by 2 scores.
The line to make the Wonder 43-yard line. A long 4. Middle, let's try it. The Wonder stop it. Really poor, got him by the ankles. Philip Johnson finished him off up top, and that might force Burns into punting, although
Well, you'd almost have to punt from here because otherwise you risk giving Kannapolis the ball at midfield. And again, Randy, we haven't seen him break a big one yet, but Nick Maddox is going to go back there again. They've been kicking away from him tonight, but you can only give a guy like him so many chances. Also keep in mind, last time Burns went back to punt, the snap was bad.
Yeah, exactly. I guarantee you those on-rushing linemen are going to be heads up now. It's only the second, third, and out of the game for Burns.
3 and out.
3 and out, I'm sorry. Good punt this time. Maddox will let it bounce, and it will be dead inside the 10. What a punt.
Well, Burns is winning the field position war here in the second half. And that's been the difference so far. They were able to turn that into one score, and they've got Kannapolis pinned deep again. I think, Randy, the Wonders are going to have to hit a couple of passes to loosen things up here to allow some running room for Tron Brown and Nick Maddox.
You're exactly right. They started at their own 9-yard line in the first half and moved it all the way down to the 12.
And look, we've got a new quarterback. It's Justin Harden into the game instead of William Kraft.
Justin Harden making his first appearance since the Northwest Cabarrus game where he played half the game. So
that may be an indication, Randy, that they're thinking they've got to throw a little bit more. Something's not right. They didn't have enough people out there. Can they get the playoff? 5 seconds, 4.
Harden will walk out. He just gets it off, and they give it to Tron Brown, and he'll get some room out across the 10, and then is forced back there. It looked like 64, or 65, excuse me, was Maurice Ray, a 265-pound junior, pounding on Tron Brown.
That was very close to being a delay of game penalty there for the Wonders. They didn't have the right personnel in the game, but keep in mind, this may be an indication that the Wonders feel like they've got to throw. Justin Harden has a very good arm.
They have Nick Gill wide to the left of your screen, 2 receivers to the short side of the field on the top on 2nd and 4. Toss will go to Maddox. Trying to cut against the grain, and we'll get to the 15 and a late flag upfield.
Boy, Maddox made a couple of great moves, Randy, to keep that one from being a big loss.
Actually, to the 16-yard line.
And the penalty is going to be against the Wonders.
Flipping the call. There you see William Kraft on the sidelines. The senior who had perhaps his finest day a couple of weeks ago down at Bailey Stadium in Concord. Had a great playoff game last week at Asheville. It's just game conditions maybe dictate, not the fact that Kraft is doing a bad job. Harden maybe with a little bit quicker release in the passing.
And now this is going to back him up and bring up, what, about a 2nd and 10 or 11.
Back to about the original line of scrimmage there. Move it back to just inside the 9-yard line. Actually, 2nd and 10. Original line of scrimmage. Jenkins will split out as one wide.
Looks like you got Nick Gill up at the top.
Simple setback. And they take the end around. Here's Harden out of the flat. The little low. Receiver couldn't hang on. That was Mark Kennedy coming out at the 15-yard line.
He had him open, Randy, but as you mentioned, the ball a little bit low. That was nice execution by the Wonders, except for the placement of the ball that time. They had him out there open in the flat where they wanted him.
Now they ran Maddox away from the play. So that'll give you some pursuit.
Maddox, 5 carries in the second half, no yards.
After an incredible first half. 3rd down and 10 at the 9.
Well, Burns has realized that to stop Kannapolis, job 1 is to contain Nick Maddox. Kannapolis is going to have to find another way to do it.
3 receivers. Tremaine Robinson is one of them. Play fake. Harden with some good time this time. Under pressure. Dumps it upfield. Incomplete. A little short. The pressure forced that pass to be short. Tremaine Robinson upset. There's a flag that's going to be roughing the passer, and that's an automatic first down. That could be the break the Wonders are looking for, Woody.
Yeah, it sure could. It's still down upfield. Looks like Tremaine Robinson.
And he didn't hit anybody. He just went for the ball.
Yeah, he dove as that one was short. Harden was scrambling for his life and had to throw it out there and hope somebody could get it.
Kind of knocked himself out. The ground punched him out that time. The clock shows 4:13 to go in the 3rd period. We've got a couple of numbers out or lights out on the board.
And what a big break for Kannapolis, Randy. It seemed like all the penalties were going against them. Now they've finally gotten one to go their way, and they've got a first down here.
At the 25-yard line. Now,
first one of the second half.
Now you're sitting there, and that's got to open up some more options for you offensively. As they continue, oh, it's a cramp on Tremaine Robinson. We have a break, and we'll step away as well. Back to Memorial Stadium, 4:13 remaining. Tremaine Robinson had a severe case of the cramps, almost like what we saw Nick had a couple of weeks ago down at Concord. It took a long time to get those things worked out. Twin sets now with 3 wide for Harden on first out of the 25. Toss to Maddox. And he got about 3 that time, dancing out. Some pretty good blocking there, but Nick weaving his way out there. And, well, he's been held in check. But, of course, the Wonders haven't had the football a lot here in the second half.
Well, they've got about 5 yards of total offense in the second half, not counting the penalty. The thing that I've noticed, Randy, is that Maddox is having to work awfully hard in this second half to get to the line of scrimmage. He's having to make a couple of good moves in the backfield just about every time here in the second half to keep from losing yardage. At that time, something that you may want to keep an eye on, Harden's pitch to Maddox was a little low. And that's something you definitely don't want to do back here deep in your own territory.
Todd Brown now occupies the tailback slot on 2nd and 7. Harden with a straight drop. Looking high and almost intercepted. He was looking for Maddox, threw it high and behind it a little bit. I mean, perhaps some rustiness coming out here with Harden, only a sophomore. And we look at some stats on Justin. 11 of 28, no interceptions, 207 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's total for the season today.
I wonder if Maddox got a hand on that one to keep it away. 0-5 passing in the game for Kannapolis, and I still think they're going to have to hit a couple of these to loosen things up.
Exactly. Well, here's a big one. 3rd and 6. Excuse me. Single set back slot on the right. And they go with the end around Maddox. Yeah! They were waiting on him that time. And 69, Jason Jeter, 270 pounds, doing the number that time.
And Maddox just nowhere to go, Randy. He got away from one guy, but the next one was there waiting. And good job by the Burns defense. They're staying at home and doing exactly what they've got to do.
The clock shows 3 minutes in the 3rd period. Now Jenkins to punt.
In the second half, Randy Maddox, 7 carries, no yards.
And that will change, or the Wonder season might be over. Jenkins all kinds of time. He gets off a gorgeous punt in the clouds, and it's fumble. The ball is loose, and Burns lucky, very lucky to get back on it at the 35-yard line. Tell you one thing,
that was Elmore. He called for the fair catch, Randy, and the Wonders laid off, but they were there waiting.
He may have lost it in the fog, no lie.
He may have.
It's lifted off the field somewhat, but it's still up there in the lights.
Looked like that would cost him at least 6 or 8 yards, and now this is probably going to be the worst field position in the second half for Burns to start a drive.
Key defensive series for the Wonders. 35-yard line. Green has done a great job at quarterback tonight. Tosses to Melker. They string it out, trying to get him, and Harris runs him out of bounds at about the 37, maybe the 38-yard line.
Nick Gill a little slow to get up out there, Randy. Even though Nick didn't make the tackle, you see him there. The thing he did was force Melker to take that one a couple of steps further to the outside than he wanted to. He was all ready to cut it upfield right there. Gill, even though he didn't make the hit or make the stop, forced Melker to take a couple of more steps that enabled the rest of the pursuit to catch up.
The Wonders down by 6 with 2:32 to go here in the 3rd period. A long way from over. High formation. Once again. And it will be the tailback. Whoops. That was in slow motion there.
It looked like. It looked weird. That's Melker again, and man, I'm telling you, that kid has played his heart out in this game. If they lose, it's not going to be his fault.
LaRon Caldwell just kind of rolled him off his shoulders there. 3rd down now coming up. The line to make just over the 45-yard line.
20 carries, 75 yards for Melker.
He's done some blue-collar work down there, I want to tell you.
He's not the kind of guy who's going to break a 40 or 50-yarder on you, but he's the one who's going to 3, 4, and 5 yards you to death all night long.
Wonder fans on their feet. Toss to Melker, trying the big side. The ball is loose, and it's still loose, and it looks like Kannapolis may have recovered. Let's see. Or did Melker return it?
Kannapolis has got it, I believe.
They unfile. Still no signal now from the officials.
Coming out there with it is Sheets.
Jeff Sheets has the football, and they they still have not signaled. Now they do.
And there, Randy, is the break the Wonders have been looking for. First time they'll have the ball in Burns territory in the second half.
Well, you know, this place is haunted for visiting teams.
Yeah, just a little bobble on the pitch that time. And boy, the thing about that play, watch how many green shirts are around the area when the ball pops loose.
They had the
watch
play
this.
stopped anyway.
The ball's loose. Look at all those green shirts. You don't see very many white shirts around there. Kannapolis was all over that one.
About 45 to go in the third period. Gill and Jenkins to the top, and Chambers out to the bottom. Fans on their feet. 36-yard line, 41-yard line, excuse me. Best field position of the second half for the Wonders. Here's Tron Brown up the gut, bounces off a man, spins to the 31. It will be a first down, and that's the spark, Woody.
It really is. And
There's
Randy,
the senior leadership right there.
they have forgotten that go around the end, try to misdirect them. That time it was just straight away, pound them.
Tron Brown has been an instrumental leader as far as one of those seniors all year. We've read about it. We've heard him talking about it. He leads by example, and if that don't fire you up, nothing will.
Officials timeout. We may have a measurement here, Randy. 37 yards on 9 carries for Tron Brown so far, but those were perhaps the biggest of the game. Let's see if they're going to call for the measurement. They are. Here comes the chain gang.
This is their obligatory appearance for the second half.
Right.
We had one in the first half.
They're
you
warming
see
up the leg.
Garber, outstanding soccer player,
Now let's see.
and has done a good job. He's only a junior.
Didn't get it.
About 3 lengths short.
That's the distance.
The referee looks like, hey, relax.
Well, Randy, after what happened a time ago, I think you got to give the ball back to Tron Brown, bang it straight up the gut, and if they don't get it, do it again.
That's smash mouth football. Give them a little bit of their own medicine.
Exactly.
Justin Harden, second series he's been in at quarterback. Evar Johnson and Tron Brown in the backfield. Second and short. Harden has the first down to the 29 of Burns.
Nice call, though, by the Wonder coaches, Randy. You know, they had to be thinking, like I said, watch out for Tron Brown. Harden squirts over to the left side there and pops it through for the first down.
Now, here's when you think, well, Harden's in there to pass. Give it to Maddox. Let him throw it.
Well, they tried that once, and Burns was all over it.
Jenkins and Gill to the top. Chambers to the bottom, the wides. You give the Maddox. Right side, picks open, cuts it back, inside the 10, 5, touchdown!
Man, and what speed, Randy, what speed he showed right there.
We are tied with 45 seconds to go in the third period, and this place has erupted.
Maddox isn't through running yet. Watch this. Great blocking there, and here on out, it's Maddox using his speed.
They made an adjustment in the offensive line instead of going too far wide. It looks like they cut it back in toward the tackles, and
Two huge plays to the right side there of the line, Randy, and they found big room both of those times, and the Wonders now have a huge extra point.
Hard to hold. John Garber to attempt the extra point. A good snap and hold. The kick is up, and the Wonders are back on top.
Wait a minute. One official says yes, and the other one says no.
I think he called timeout.
There's a flag down. Okay.
The kick was good, so
It's going to be against Burns. I think it was an offsides against Burns, so Kannapolis will decline that, of course, and take the lead.
they are up again. This time by the scanner. Some margins, just one.
Bruce Harden says, don't you dare take that penalty.
Don't take the points off the board. No, sir. Well, they still are discussing it down there.
Wait a minute. Now, that may be, it might be one of those where they lined up before the play ever got started.
Here's
Let's
the
see.
call for the referee. Offsides.
And they will decline. Okay. Well, now, wait a minute. How can you decline, yet you're going to kick it again?
It was a dead ball.
Okay, the play never started, so they'll get half the distance and have to do it again. Goodness, what a turn of events.
Harden holds. Kick is good by Garber. No flags. Well, instant replay proved the difference there. Wonders leading by one with 45 seconds to go, and that's a handicapper right now. Randy Whitley along with Woody Kane back here at Memorial Stadium. And here's the one to kick. Fielded at the 15-yard line. Logan in trouble. Rayvar Harris Nick Gill down there first who slowed him up. Well, Nick Gill's a kamikaze pilot on the special teams, and
He is throwing his body all over the place, Randy, and boy, the second electrifying run of the night by Nick Maddox put the Wonders back up on top. 30-yard touchdown run. That gives him 180 yards now. Check it. He's got to be, 180 yards on the night so far for Maddox. He had, what, a 50 or 60-yarder, and then a 30-yarder.
Well, he's not hit for average, but he's got a couple of homers tonight. We'll take it. Fullback gets the call. Spins out for about 3. Sheets, boy, he's a tough trooper out there. Jim, 197-pounder. Cal Brown, the ball carrier. He's one of those seniors. We have no more time. 12 more minutes in regulation. The Wonders lead by 1. 12 more minutes on the clock here, and we're having so much fun. Second down, Green going to the air, going deep, and he's got a man behind the coverage. Logan with a catch, big catch, his second one of the night. The last one went for a touchdown.
Wait a minute now. There's a flag down? No flag down, okay.
And it will be a first down at the Wonder 30-yard line. He was behind the coverage. I forgot about him.
Sure was. He was 5 yards behind Rayvar Harris and Nick Maddox that time, and they just lost him. And a nice strike by the left-handed quarterback that time in Green to put the ball right on the money.
Well, the momentum now swinging back toward the Bulldog side as we've got one that's probably going to go to the wire here. Well, Philip Johnson making a big tackle. Boy,
I'm telling you, that kid gets up for the big games, doesn't he?
he's spending more energy celebrating there.
He was so excited he forgot one of his socks. Did you see that? He's got one sock and on one leg and the other one has nothing.
That might be,
Look at that.
well, I noticed that at the Concord Kannapolis game. That might be the way he plays.
That might be one of his lucky charms or something. He got so fired up he forgot to put both his socks on before he came out here.
Magic of the delicious.
Yeah.
Second and 9. Green with a play fake. Pressure. Throwing. Incomplete. He had it. He had
A little bit more, but Logan couldn't hold on. Logan was there. He got both hands on the ball, but I think he realized he wasn't going to be able to reel it in and just kind of swatted it down toward the ground to make sure none of the Wonders got a hold of it. Looked like some good pressure from Willie Ford that time up the middle. Again, Randy, even though that one was incomplete, Burns doesn't throw much, but when they do, they're very, very effective with it.
Wesley Green has been got a strong arm out there. Green is 6 foot, 165 pounds. A senior, he's been there. 3rd and 9. Here's a key one coming up. Green to the air again, getting pressure, and Johnson gets it. Philip Johnson. Now you can celebrate, Philip.
He'll never wear a sock again on that leg.
Take the other one off.
If he does that, nobody will be able to stop him.
Not only does it bring up 4th down, but it takes him out of field goal range.
Sure does. That's a tremendous play, Randy, because Johnson absolutely laid his body out. He knew that Green was going to be able to run away from him. At the last moment, he dove out and was able to get a hold of one of his ankles and put him on the ground. Fine play.
Maddox is back inside the 10. Here comes the punt. Little pooch punt. They kick it away from Nick. Does he field it? No, they're going to get away from that one. And the Wonders will start it at their 1-yard line.
Man, I'm telling you what, that kid there doing the punting duties, Pruitt, may not be a guy who booms one 60 yards in the air, but he is very, very effective with getting that roll and placing the ball exactly where he wants it to go.
Accuracy and deadliness is where he places it. Like you said, he's been as effective a punter as what we saw Travis Gaster from Albemarle, who's a Shrine Bowler.
Now, he is one that booms it.
But
he gets the roll on top of it.
He does. Well,
that's like you hear the pitch and run in golf. He gets the boom and roll.
Let's give it to Nick and go 99 yards. It'll take you about 12 seconds, maybe.
You're going to have to settle for Tron Brown. Nick's not in the game.
Well, Tron, time to do your thing. Harden, we'll give it to Brown. Hit at the line, and no gain. You got to be careful there. You don't want to risk a safety.
Right, you've got to get up in there quick and make that play go. You can't risk fooling around in the backfield and twisting and turning and all that. You've got to slam into the line and go.
Clock shows 9:45 and running here in regulation. Harden with the play. On second, they actually gave him a yard on the play.
Now keep in mind, too, if they go back to pass and he has to throw it away, there could be a safety on that kind of a call, too. So you've got to be very careful no matter what you do back here.
Charleston Maddox looking for a block and just getting a little running room out to about the 3, maybe the 4. Now do you pass?
Boy, that punt, Randy, really took the wind out of the sails of this crowd. They had a huge defensive stand, great pressure. The crowd was rocking, and that punt just kind of slowed everything down.
They're still on their feet, though. I don't know why they paid for a seat. Nobody's used one here in the second half.
Might as well just rip these bleachers out. They're not doing anybody
I don't know
any
about
good.
that.
Well, you can still leave the stands, just don't leave any seats.
On third down, they go with a little trap this time, and out to about the 4-yard line. So that goes Kennedy.
Yeah.
So that will give Jenkins another yard, possibly 2 to punt from.
Now, they've gotten close to Jenkins a couple of times, Randy, and you would have to imagine they're going to load up and come after him here.
8:35 to go. We'll keep you abreast of the time.
Looks like going to go back deep is going to be Logan instead of Elmore.
Logan has been the thorn in the Wonders' side offensively here tonight.
Got both touchdowns.
Yep. They show 9 guys on the line of scrimmage, and they rush with the ends and Jenkins.
What a kick.
It's in the fog, folks. Bearcat signal for if you can find it at the Wonder 36-yard line. So the defense for the green and white going to be put to the test once again.
Now keep in mind, Randy, coming in here, that the kicker for Burns, not the guy we've been seeing doing the punting, Pruitt, but the kicker is Scott Turner, 5'6", 140-pound senior, and we understand that he has very good range, and that could be a key factor in this game.
There's Wesley Green, the quarterback, power I formation, tailback, into the line.
Still
And,
going.
yep, they finally got a hold of him out. How about the 29, 30-yard line?
Looked like it was Robinson who had a hold of his legs, and Gill and Paul Allen got there at the end to help finish him off.
The fog has returned to Memorial Stadium.
Yeah, how does that happen? It goes away,
I think it's the coin toss said they get the second, fourth quarter. So
okay, all right. Well, it seemed like, I know it hasn't been, but it seems like every time we come to Kannapolis, there's something bizarre going on with the weather, doesn't it?
yeah. This will be a first down as Logan goes to the Wonder 25-yard line.
Speaking of forgetting about all that fancy going around the end stuff,
They're going up the middle.
yeah, Burns has done the same thing. They're just trying to plow away now.
Well, the Wonders need a turnover the worst way right now. Turnover set up their touchdown. There you see the troops on the sidelines, the offense. William Kraft, the senior. They want the football back.
It's not up to them now. The defense is going to have to get a stop before they can do anything.
7:15 to go in regulation. First down, Wonder 25. Here we go on the end of the round. Fighting off a block, Gill slowed him down, 4 and company, finished off.
Looked like it was Harris who was in on the stop as well.
Chris Jeter on the carry.
From here, Randy, it would be about a 41-yard field goal, so they're getting close to
About
the
5,
danger
6
range.
more yards.
Well, now keep in mind, in actual last week, kid up there kicked 2 40-plus yard field goals against the Wonders in the first quarter.
But
The other thing to remember, though, is Tremaine Robinson has blocked an extra point tonight.
I think he had about a 20-mile-per-hour wind to his back, too, so that makes a difference. Right now, there's no wind. We got fog. You can't see the goalpost from here.
Yeah.
Second and 8. Tailback. Logan slashes in the middle. Logan down to the Wonder 20-yard line. It'll bring up third down, and the line to make will be just inside the 15.
Well, from here on out, Randy, every play is going to be big, but if there was a time to have a stop, it's now for the Wonders. This is probably the biggest third down play of the game so far, because if Burns gets it, they'll definitely be in field goal range. And maybe even if they don't get it.
I think Burns is in 2-down territory right now.
Yeah.
6 minutes exactly to go. Wonders almost jumped, and I think he did not get back. He broke the imaginary plane.
And that's the second time tonight that that's happened up and keep him in the game, keep his head in the game, because now it's going to bring up a 3rd and short, 3rd and 2.
8 penalties, 70 yards right now against the Wonders. And they started out with 30 right off the bat in the second half. Just outside the 15-yard line. A long, or actually a short 2 coming up. You've got Melker back in the backfield. And he'll get the ball. And he stopped. Wonders guessed right that time. Philip Johnson.
The sockless Wonder does it again.
Hey, you may have started something here.
Man, what a stuff that was. He absolutely shed the man trying to stop him and met him before he ever got to the line of scrimmage, right at the knees.
Looks like they're bringing the field goal unit on, Woody. It's 4th down. They didn't get anything. They may have lost a little bit.
Well, the way Kannapolis played those last couple, they would think they've got to go here. And keep in mind now that their kicker has some great range.
It'll be spotted at the 23-yard line pretty much straight away. It'll be a 33-yard field goal attempt with 4:57 to go, trying to give Burns the lead. The snap, the spot, the kick is up. It's long enough, and it's good. And Burns has retaken the lead with 4:49 to go in the ball game. Back with their kickoff in just a minute. As we return to Hog Lake Memorial Stadium, this one end over end and taken at about the 5-yard line. Let's see who's got it. It's Maddox. Getting out, getting to the outside. Maddox to the 30. He's to the 40. He's out of bounds and almost a late hit. Maddox almost out to midfield. What a return. And Maddox had one man to beat, but Pruitt had the angle on him and forced him out of bounds, and that's a load there. Had he gotten Maddox, that would have been like a truck running into a sapling. It's like a bull coming out of the fog. Boy, look at him just run away from people right here. Now watch Pruitt coming in number 12 right here. Just had the angle and forced Maddox out of bounds, but a nice return gives the Wonders outstanding field position. 4:39 to go in the ball game. Down by 2. The drive of the year. They're going to have one, and they hit Brown, and he's to midfield down to the 49-yard line. On the back is Alex Harold, of Tron Brown. Pick up a 3 on the play.
A little bit of pushing and shoving starting now among some of the guys along the lines.
The Wonders have, I believe, 2 timeouts remaining?
I think they have used 1, that's right.
Yeah, they have plenty of time, but you've got to make it happen here. They don't need a touchdown, by the way. They're only 2 points down.
What kind of range does Garber have?
40 yards. 2 wide to the top. Toss to the short side. Maddox frees himself, breaks the tackle, almost got out of that. That's got to be a late hit, but no call.
And the Wonder fans are screaming for it. The coaches are yelling for it, but no flags coming out.
Nick down to the 44-yard line of Burns, and he's wondering why he didn't get a call.
Nick was trying to get those extra couple of yards by pulling his leg free at the end, and just as he got on the ground, one of the Burns players came up and made sure he stayed there.
3rd 2. Really, it is this foggy, folks.
I'm telling you, this is something.
Out of the eye, Brown has the first down. And then some. Jeter with the tackle that may have kept him out of the end zone. That stops the clock as they move the chains at the 33-yard line of Burns. It shows 3:25 to go on the ball game.
Kannapolis really starting to make some hay with Tron Brown, especially between the tackles, Randy.
It has worked and worked and worked very successfully here, especially the last series and now this one. Here come the Wonders.
53 yards on 11 carries for Tron Brown.
No, Maddox again trying to cut back. Got about 3, maybe 4 that time, down to the 30-yard line. Well, Woody, about 10 more yards. Another first down, and you're in Garber land, I guess.
Yeah. Well, Randy, we were talking earlier that Kannapolis had to complete a big pass. Maybe it's been just as effective that they have attempted some to make the Burns defense respect that a little bit.
Johnson, the up back. They go with a quick count, and the toss is to Maddox, and he's got some room. Nick Maddox inside the 15, the 10, down to the 5. Nick Maddox has taken it on himself tonight.
Hey, don't forget about Tron Brown.
Tron Brown. These guys are saying, dance Maddox with the one that brought you. Right now, they're doing a pretty good two-step.
Maddox has run some big chunks off right here, big chunks of yardage, but Tron Brown has been the guy who's gotten them the big first downs when they've had to have them. It's like a home run hitter and a singles hitter. 213 yards on 23 carries for Nick Maddox right now.
That'll put him over 2,000 yards for the season. What a year the junior is having. 2:20 to go in the ball game and a timeout on the field. We'll be back. And Woody Kane, there's the man of the night so far, but it's all for naught unless they can stick it in the zone right now. He's getting a break, but
Look at the steam coming up of him. He's smoking, isn't he?
Kannapolis is not thinking field goal right now.
No.
And the only problem here is there's too much time left on the clock. 2:20 to go. Tron Brown, the tailback, he'll get the call. Left side bounces to about the 3. It'll be second and goal. He met up with Jason Jeter. They've got Jeters and Melkers and Elmores. It's like 2 sets of twins on the team. I swear I think there's more than that out here.
Hey, they've even got a Maddox.
They got some a clone machine up there in Burns, don't they? Inside 2 minutes to go with it. Second and goal at the 3.
Maddox is back.
Ivar Johnson, the up back, the blocking back. He'll go behind Ivar. He goes to the 1.
Flag is down.
And a late flag at that. Was there a hold?
Let's see who's. Looks like the Wonders are applauding. Going to be against Burns. The Wonders are happy with it.
Could have been a face. It is a face mask. Well, that'll help you a little bit. You don't have far to go. Half the distance.
Well, the good thing about this, if you're a Kannapolis fan, Randy, provided they go ahead and punch it in, by Burns stopping them a couple of times, it's chewing more and more time off the clock. That's that much less time that Burns will have to try and get back in it.
Burns has one timeout left. It comes down. Boy,
They can't watch.
It comes down to a 20-yard field goal attempt. It's really an extra point.
Well, they'll know from the crowd's reaction. And during that timeout, Randy, Garver was out there all by himself. Nobody was trying to pump him up. Nobody was talking to him at all.
Hard to hold. They practiced it 1,000 times. This is for the game. Spot. The kick is up. And it is good. Let's just watch this. Believe me, it was good. You couldn't see it, but it was good.
Well, the official was right down there at the goalpost watching a lot closer than we could see. And again, Randy, Burns comes to Kannapolis and falls down by 1 late.
37 seconds remaining. It's not over. Well, don't get no better than this. We haven't said it all year, but that's what more can you ask for in a ball game, Woody?
I'm telling you, this has been everything you can ask for in a playoff game.
Jeff Sheets, the senior now, will kick it deep. You got to kick it deep here. You don't want to give him a chance to get in field goal range. And it's going deep to about the 8-yard line, and this is Logan. He is dangerous, trying to get to the outside, and the Wonders beat him at the 21-yard line. Clark Kennedy down there, along with Donnell Neal, number 81, who kind of turned him into the pursuit.
All right, Randy, 30 seconds to go. We believe Burns has used all their timeouts. They've got to go 80 yards here to try and get back on top. Well, really, they probably only have to go about 60 to get in field goal range.
And Maddox is in at the free safety. You've got Tremaine Robinson back there.
I wonder if the fog is going to be a problem on a deep pass here. It's awfully thick.
It's got to be. Here's Green back. Looking, going deep, and it's going to be incomplete. Maddox almost intercepted. There was, you could see it or not.
There was not a receiver back there, Randy. There were 3 green shirts back there, and nobody for Burns was near that ball. It's like the receiver stopped his pattern early or something.
Look at the fog on the field. You see a body or a shadow over there. You don't know what color it is. Is it wearing a white shirt or a green shirt? 23 seconds to go.
Tell you what, Wesley Green may not be noted for his passing ability, but he's shown us a gun here tonight.
Green back again. Wonders coming this time, and they almost get him. Now the ball up for grabs. They got Logan behind the secondary, and he's got it brought down inside the 40-yard line with 13 seconds to go. Woody, they got time maybe for a quick pass.
This will stop the clock while they move the chains, but that's all it'll do. As soon as they get it set, they'll start running it again.
My apology, it wasn't Logan, it was Melker. Logan has been the guy that's burned him. They slipped Melker out, and they almost got him in the backfield. The quarterback, Green Robinson, almost sacked
The backs, Randy, have been able to get behind the Kannapolis defense all night. Inside 10 seconds, and they just slam it down.
7 seconds to go. Now, if you're Coach Green, you call that final timeout, and you say, well, do we go out pattern and hope we can get out of bounds and get about 10 yards for our kicker, or you go zone? I mean, it's one play, basically, for the game.
Well, you might be able to get out of bounds with a couple of seconds left if you try a short one. If you want to set up your kicker for a little bit closer try at it, because from here, it would be a mammoth field goal.
Well, no kicker is in, and they're going to go for it.
You're looking at a 50-plus field goal from here. They've got to get a little more.
7 seconds. Green, straight drop. Whoops. Too much time. That's a big 5 yards there.
That will hurt.
The clock did not start because the play was whistled dead.
Now you're getting nigh on to a 60-yard field goal, so they have to complete at least one more and be able to get out of bounds to have a chance or go deep for the end zone.
One advantage that gives them a chance to regroup a little bit as the play clock resets at 25. Green is going to have everybody in the pattern, and if you're a wonder defensive back, don't let them get behind.
You've heard of nickel packages and dime packages. This is probably the quarter package here. They've got everybody in.
Green, sidelines, complete, but they will not get out of bounds. The game is over.
Man,
the celebration is on in K-Town tonight. What a game. A game that really nobody should have lost tonight.
Tremendous, tremendous ball game. And Randy, for the second time in 7 years, Burns comes into Kannapolis with a head of steam and goes home with a 1-point loss.
Oh, man, oh, man. The Wonders will now advance to round number 3. Their opponent, we don't know yet, either Concord or Hickory. They'll either be at home next week against Concord or on the road at Hickory. Boy, I tell you, the season will continue at least for another week. Wonders advance to the Elite 8, 17-16 tonight with a John Garver field goal in the final 30 seconds to, we thought, ice it, but it was anxious. It came down to the last play, and what can you say? This game had a little bit of everything, and I think Steve Gann is somewhere on the field. He may have found Bruce Hart. Let's go there right now.
Thanks, guys, for winning. Coach Bruce Hart, and tell you what, Bruce, congratulations. That's all I can say. What a game.
Well, I just told the players after the ball game, if you don't have character coaches and people after a game like this is how you get there. So this group's full of character and just heart, and we made mistakes, but they put each mistake behind them and played hard the next play, and that's all you can ask from a football team.
I tell you, probably the biggest field goal in your coaching career. That was a big one.
John Garver has worked hard. It's unfortunate. It's probably my fault that he hasn't had an opportunity, but there was no doubt that he would come through for us. So that was the plan, and we said we're going to run it up the middle 3 times, and if we don't make it, we're going to turn it over to John. Everybody felt good about it, so that's the way it worked out.
Coach, you got on top early, 7-0. They come storming back, tied the score. You went in at halftime. What did you tell the guys?
Well, we made one blocking scheme, but we just told them that we've got, if they score, we've got to come back and just bring up the intensity and try to get good field position. It looked like the field position was really tough on us. Their punter was punting it short, and we weren't holding them up, and they were getting down, and the ball was rolling. So field position hurt us, but we just hung in there, and Tron and Nick and that offensive line, they just ran hard, and Evar Johnson, he blocked his heart out that second half.
Talk about intensity. Seemed like you guys forced a fumble down there, and he went down and recovered the fumble, and Nick seemed like he come to life. A new person out there. Then all of a sudden the momentum went your way. Just turned it up a notch.
Well, that's what you're looking for. We talked about tennis players in the locker room, that 2 great tennis players playing, that at a point somebody's going to crack, and when you make a mistake like that, that other team's got to really bounce back and get momentum their way, and they really responded that way. So we're awful proud of them.
Bruce, we're all proud of them in the community. Nerve-wracking. How do you put up with it week after week? It's I'm on the sidelines, got nothing to gain, nothing to lose, but how about over there?
Well, it's a lot of fun. It's basically what you look forward to, and I just love young people. I really have. And when you have a good football team, I guess I pushed them too hard, because as a coach, when you got a football team, you want to coach them forever, and you just push and drive and yell at them and bellow at them and everything, but they just respond. And like I said, you know, just opening up your interview, they're just full of character.
Bruce, you called this the hump game. One more down and just a couple more to go.
Yeah, that's it. I think that second game really gets you over the edge. And, you know, I think those doubters and those guys that haven't been in that situation, once you play 2 playoff games, it gives you an opportunity to at least get a feel for it.
Congratulations. Go celebrate.
Thank you so much.
Okay, guys, back to you.
Okay, thanks, Steve. And, well, there's the team.
There's some happy campers right there now, and they deserve the smiles on their faces now. They played a great game.
Kind of like a team picture after the game. And John Garber, I thought your daddy said your curfew has been extended an hour tonight. Well, the most important number. I guess that's the most important no sock.
Yeah, but we were talking about Philip Johnson. That's Nick Maddox, and there he is, boy, giving all the interviews.
Johnson started something, I believe. We'll have to do the socks next week.
Look at here, Randy. What a surprise. No passing yards for Kannapolis in this game. Total yards very close. First downs very close. 0-6 passing for the Wonders in this contest. 2 turnovers to 1. The 1 turnover for Burns led to a Kannapolis score. 8 penalties for 70 yards were almost very costly for Kannapolis. You see 276 total yards on the ground there. Nick Maddox had 214 of them by our unofficial count here, and that is just an outstanding game for Nick Maddox. The whole team just played with a lot of heart and a lot of character and refused to quit when they got down by 6.
Well, I guess we'll work next Friday night. We'll have round number 3 of the Elite 8 game, and that means we'll have headliners for you Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. Join us for that. Have yourself a great weekend, everybody.